As an EQ executive coach, the unexamined emotional self is often the barrier. So people will present with symptoms, behaviors, and goals. And oftentimes the presentation of those things are very intellectual. I would like to, I'm experiencing. And when we dive into the work that is necessary, meaning removing some of the layers and getting to what's at the core, what is always found is an unexamined emotional state, how they create their emotions. And once we work together to gain the emotional intelligence skills to unblock that, success is achieved. So it's really quite interesting how often people want to go after IQ when what they need to go after is EQ. Now, emotional self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. We can't manage what we're not aware of. That's why it's the foundation. So when you want to transform, when you want to level up, when you want to get that next promotion, think about your EQ before you think about your IQ, and think specifically about your emotional self-awareness. To develop this particular skill, you have to crank up a few of the other emotional intelligence skills. You have to get really objective about your emotional experiences, which means you have to really be able to look at yourself separate from your subjective opinion of how you're showing up, how you're doing in social situations. You have to start using emotional expression, understanding how to constructively use your emotions, which means you have to really understand the emotion you're experiencing in the first place. You have to be able to name what you're experiencing, what you're creating, and then stress tolerance. Building emotional self-awareness is stressful because you have to be willing to step into your emotional space. And most people find that very uncomfortable because you're going to have to admit things. You're going to have to find things about yourself. And a lot of that is uncomfortable. The discomfort also comes from perhaps a history of just not dealing with your emotions, with avoiding them. And so it's uncomfortable, mostly because it's unfamiliar. But here's the thing that I can promise you and guarantee you in the process. It isn't as hard as you think it's going to be. It isn't as uncomfortable as you think it's going to be. And when you have your aha moments, they are incredibly empowering and encouraging to do more of it, learn more about yourself.